Hi everyone, Fermier here. Welcome back to my new video. Now spring has to be one of my favorite time of the year, simply because everything is coming back to life. We've got new fruit and vegetables. It's also time to plant a new crop of vegetables for the next 6 months. Now today I decided to use one of my favorite spring vegetables. I'm gonna do a recipe using clove artichokes. So basically what we're gonna make a tart with smoked salmon, clove artichokes, some mushrooms, and a little bit of manchego cheese. We're gonna make a short crust pastry. Now if you got a food processor, you can use it. If you don't, that's alright. You just need to use your hand. It's gonna take a little bit longer, but the result will be basically the same. So waiting for the short crust pastry, you need 250 grams of plain flour, 125 grams of unsalted butter, 1 free-range egg, a pinch of salt, and a little bit of water. Alright, so what I've got in there, I've got the plain flour and the butter, and we're just gonna mix it until we get that sandy texture in the flour. So once you have this, we're just gonna keep mixing it and just add the egg. And then we'll add the water just until everything combines together, so you don't want it too wet. This consistency, it's not too wet, not too dry, so it's not flaky. Just knead it a little bit just to form a smooth ball. And then we're gonna wrap it and leave it rest for about 20 minutes, half an hour. Alright guys, so while the pastry is resting, we're gonna saute the shallots and the mushrooms. So once they get a little bit softer, you can add the mushrooms. Voila everyone, that's pretty much it. You don't want to overcook them, because you gotta cook them again in the actual pastry, so just half cook them just until they're a little bit soft. So next, for the artichokes, what you need to do is you need to take out the heart of it, so that middle part. Just use a spoon, just basically scoop it out, just like that, so it's nice and clean, and that's all you got left, and then the rest is fine. Alright, so once you've cleaned them all, we're just gonna dice them, so big enough dice, you don't want them too small, just for the texture. So you want them the size of a bit larger than the brunoise, I guess, so big dice. Alright, so to roll the pastry, just flour your bench, not too much, just roll it out. So we will need about 2 mm thickness. So see, if you roll it out a little bit and then turn it a quarter, and then roll and then turn it a quarter, you end up with almost perfect circle. So for the mold, I use one of those trays where you can take the bottom off. If you don't have one of those, I suggest you get one, because they're really handy. Then just roll it onto your rolling pin, just unroll it so that you don't have any holes. There you go. Then make sure the pastry is tucked into the corners. So just lift it with one hand and then gently press it with the other. Because when the pastry cooks, it's going to shrink a little bit. So what you need to do is just leave a little bit extra. So just push it towards the center of the dish, and then just press it like that. So you see you got like a little bit of pastry on the side, and then just press it. So you got a nice clean edge. Voila! Alright guys, so next we're gonna make the mix for the tart. So I've got 4 free-range eggs, a little bit of creme fraiche, and some muesli cheese, and then also we got the shallot and mushroom that we sauteed just before. Alright, so we're just gonna mix the eggs a little bit just with a fork. Then you can add creme fraiche, so just about 2 tablespoons. A little bit of seasoning. That's just some rock salt and a little bit of herbs. Alright, so we're just gonna add the mushroom and the shallot that we sauteed previously. Alright, so next we've got a tart shell. What I'm gonna do, I've got the artichoke there, so I forgot to mention before. Just take all the leaves off, and then boil some water with the juice of 1 lemon. Pop them in there and cook them until just tender. So just use a knife, pick it in the center, and if it goes in easily, it means they're cooked. It generally takes about, depending on how big they are, it generally takes about 10 minutes. So we're just gonna sprinkle them at the bottom of the tart. And then I've got the used milk cheese there, so just dice it. I'm just gonna sprinkle it as well. Go. And then we're just gonna pour in the mix. And then smoked salmon, so about 3 to 4 slices. Try and use like a good quality smoked salmon. And voila, so we're just gonna bake it in the hot oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 25-30 minutes. So voila everyone, so see it's nice and set and the pastry is a little bit golden on the side. You can also check with a knife, so just put your knife through and then see how it comes out clean. That means the tart is cooked. So voila everyone, delicious smoked salmon and artichoke tart. Simple spring recipe using in-season vegetables. Now I hope you enjoyed this recipe and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or you can also leave a comment in the comment box below. Don't forget to check out my blog for the full list of ingredients and the recipe. Or you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter for daily inspiration. And that's it today for me everyone. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next week for another cooking video. Salut, à bientôt! So what we're gonna cook today, we're gonna cook a pork fillet in a chablis and mustard sauce.